every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all. And full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters. And the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're going to dispense with the normal intro pleasantries. Jake, I'm going to shock you. Today's show is loaded. Are you surprised by this?
Not quite.
Were you aware of this?
I at least guessed it. I guessed it.
So we have a special guest on the line. Big volleyball match tonight in the state of Nebraska. We're also going to have a current Husker football player join us before the end of the show as well, probably hour two. So a couple of live interviews, couple of interviews that I'm excited about. Matt Rule, we're going to get to his press conference yesterday, but Dana Holgorsen, John Butler, some major updates that they're going to give today as well. But first, let's dive into it. Light this candle, bring on our special guest, Creighton Volleyball head coach Brian Rosen. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Dude, I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you joining me. You're going to play Nebraska tonight. Obviously, that's a big match for you guys, a big match for them. It's a rivalry match as well. But before we get to all that, let's talk about the season so far. Currently, you guys are ranked 18th in the country, but you have not taken the, hey, let's live in a bakery and schedule a cupcake in the non-conference approach. You have number 2 Penn State, number 5 Texas, number 14 Kansas, number 22 USC, Louisville. Tell me your approach to loading up the non-conference schedule with a bunch of really good opponents.
Yeah, I just think for us, our conference is different. It's still a really good conference. It's been the 5th best conference in the country 3 years in a row, but we don't get the P4 test that everyone else does towards the end. So for us, it's all about, scheduling those matches early to build our RPI, build our tournament resume, and we think we're as good as anybody in the country, and so we want to challenge ourselves against anyone and everyone we can, and get national TV exposure for our program, which obviously helps with recruiting. And although we'd love to win a few more of these, we feel like we're right there, and we're competing. We're in every set and getting a little bit better every weekend.
So you're 5-4 on the season, like I mentioned, 18th in the country. But again, you've played 2 top 5 teams 3 top 5 teams, 4 top 15 teams, and 5 teams overall that are ranked. So again, you're not living in a bakery, no cupcakes for Creighton volleyball. Talk to me about what you've seen from your team so far, because you faced really good competition, which gives you the opportunity to learn, hey, this is what we're good at, this is what we need to improve on. So what have you seen from your team so far?
Yeah, obviously so many new faces on this team from last year to this year. And the one person on our team that we did not have this spring is Anna, who's our starting setter. And you could just tell that from kind of the early season matches that we were pretty vanilla. We were pretty basic with our offense, which made a team, like Penn State and their size, just made us a little bit easier to defend. But we could see even in that match that we were going to be gritty. We were going to be competitive. Like our block and our defense are really good. And then I just think our offense has gotten like a little bit better every single weekend. Our issue in some of these matches that we've lost, or we just struggled to side out. And I think that was kind of based on our offense, because our passing is also really good. And then this weekend by far was our best offensive weekend. I think we hit at or over 300 in all 3 matches. And Louisville was a great test. I think they're one of the better defensive teams in the country. And so to hit as well as we did and be as productive as we did against them was really good for our confidence, even though, we'd love to win it. We played a great first set. I think the second one went like 32-30. And I thought we were in every set. We just got to close out ones like that to get a different result. And then we played 2 really good teams after that. Rice is a perennial NCAA tournament team. UNI's top 30 RPI every year. They challenged Louisville as well. And so to sweep both of those and in pretty big fashion was, again, like really good confidence for our offense. I thought we were really balanced as well.
All right, talk to me about the Nebraska match tonight. I'm sure you're studied up, ready to go, prepared for that match. What have you seen from the Huskers so far? Undefeated #1 team in the country. But what have you seen from them so far this year as you get ready to take them on this evening?
Yeah, they're really good. I think obviously we've gotten to see now, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe in the the AVCA polls or whatever, whether we played against them or whether we were just like at the tournament that they were at as well. And I think right now there's one clear #1, and that's Nebraska. And then I think that 2 through 20, we feel like we can beat anyone. And I think this is maybe the most parity we've ever seen in volleyball. I think the end of the COVID year and those kinds of things has made teams a little bit younger. Maybe teams unlike Nebraska who have a lot of seniors and older players. Obviously incredible depth on their team, but yeah, we feel good about some of our matchups. Our service pressure has been the key to our success all season. So if Nebraska's in system, any team's going to have a lot of problems. So like our focus has to be to get them out of system, allow our block to set up, and give ourselves the chance to limit their options. But yeah, if they have all 3 options going at all times, they're going to be really hard to defend. And same thing for us. We have to stay in system and create a little chaos for their block as well.
What's it like when you're getting ready for a team? And obviously they're #1 in the country. You said they deserve to be so far this year, but they've got a little bit of the box office attraction to them as well with Harper Murray. It's 10 of the most followed volleyball players in the entire country. Of those 10, 7 of them are on the Nebraska volleyball team. And then you got a former player and alumni and national champion in her own right multiple times, whether it be player, head coach, who's now the head coach, and Danny Busboom Kelly. Harper Murray's very, very popular in a lot of circles. So talk to me a bit about just like staying focused and not getting sidetracked when you're playing a team like this.
Yeah, I think there's 2 parts to that. I think first, I do want our team to like understand and be grateful for like how incredible this opportunity is that we have tonight to play in front of, hoping 17,500-ish fans. I said in a press conference, 2 teams are going to get to say they did that this year, and that's us in Nebraska. And so making sure that we are grateful for this. Like you do look around and take in, before the match starts, and then obviously once the whistle blows, we got to dial in and make sure we do all the little things to give us the chance to win tonight. But yeah, I think there's added excitement for who we're playing against. Anytime you play a #1 ranked team or a top 5 team on national TV in that kind of environment, it adds to the the excitement for our athletes to want to compete and want to be successful. And so I think they have that little bit of a chip, obviously, that we've never done it before, and wanting to be the first to do it. And so I think all those pieces are there. And, as we were going through scout, our players know everybody on their team. We don't have to say like, all right, well, number 12 will do this, or number 27 will do that. It's Harper, it's Taylor. Our athletes know who they are and have seen them, and so I think there's a lot of familiarity for sure.
Talk to me about the rivalry aspect of this. Obviously, in-state rivals, two teams that are NCAA tournament teams every year. You play every year. Campuses are 45, 50 minutes apart. Talk to me about the rivalry aspect of this.
Yeah, I think obviously it can only be a rivalry if both teams are really good, and I think it gives so much credit to Coach Booth, to Coach Cook, and Terry Pettit, and for building these programs into what they are now, to make this a real rivalry that 17,500 people even want to go see. So I think that's such a big piece to this, that you have two pretty consistent top 15, top 20 programs that get to play each other every single year. I would love to make the win-loss record closer. I think that helps with any kind of rivalry too, that both sides are able to find success. In my this will be my fourth year. In my three previous meetings, two of them have gone to 5. One of them I think was in 4, and so we've always felt like we've been there. We haven't been able to find a way to win those 5th sets or win the ones that were there. So obviously last year one of the sets I think went 30 something, and Laney Choboy was I think in the middle at one point, and so yeah, it's such a fun environment. I love the volleyball fans of Nebraska. I think they genuinely just love good volleyball, and that's what I learned my first match in this rivalry was, when we made a great play, everyone cheered. When they made a great play, even our fans cheered. And then, when things get tight, either the Let's Go Jays chant start or the Go Big Red chant start. And so I just think it's a friendly rivalry between two incredible programs from the same state, and it just so happens to be the mecca of volleyball.
Talk to me about taking over, because, Danny Busboom-Kelly taking over for Coach Cook. As you mentioned, you're taking over for Coach Booth, a legend, both legends. Yeah. So talk to me about what that's been like for you, because this is obviously Coach Kelly's first season. Busboom-Kelly, her first season as head coach at Nebraska, but your first season as a head coach at Creighton. What's that been like for you?
It's been incredible. Again, it's a dream job in a dream place for myself, for my family. I'm so fortunate to still have Coach Booth at my side, taking my phone calls. She was here supporting her daughter and us this weekend at the tournament, so I got to kind of talk and sit with her again. And she has made me a better person, a better coach, and so just forever grateful that 4 years ago I took a crazy leap of faith to leave the Southeast and come to Omaha, Nebraska, and it's just been such a special place again for my family, my kids, and all of us. And so just blessed to be where I am. And, like I said, for my players, I'm doing the same thing for myself, making sure I take a look around tonight and realize kind of where I'm at as well.
So I actually had the opportunity to throw out a first pitch at a Storm Chasers game last summer. And Coach Booth, I think she threw out the pitch it was right before me. Man, she can throw a little bit. She's got an arm on her. She threw pretty well. I was pretty impressed. So talk to me about because there's Creighton fans all over the state. Obviously, a lot of Husker fans on a soccer team that one of my daughters play for. I have 5 daughters. Almost all of them still play soccer. A lot of them play basketball. Volleyball is becoming big as well as they get older. I discovered, my wife happens to coach this team, and I discovered that there's a family they're huge Creighton fans. And I had put out a post about a year ago, something about the Nebraska Creighton rivalry, and they kind of joked and they thought it was funny. I put out another one. They were a little more serious the next time I saw them. It was all in good fun, but talk to the Creighton fans out there, anything you want them to know, or a message for Nebraskans in general that you'd like them to know about the Creighton volleyball program.
I just think, from an outsider coming into Nebraska 4 years ago, again, I am so appreciative every day of the volleyball support that we get in this state. I've been a part of really good programs and been around really good programs dream and beg and have to do all these kinds of things just to get a couple hundred to show up at a game. And so to be in the environments that we get to play in, I mean, even on Friday, we had standing room only for the Louisville match and, sold out those games. And so being at a place and in a community that supports volleyball like this is incredible. And even at that, there was a high school jamboree a few weeks ago at a football stadium now. And so seeing all of this in this state, it just takes my breath away sometimes. And so I'm just so grateful for them. And I hope that, when our fans come or even the Nebraska fans come, that they see that we have a team full of grit, that play with a ton of joy, that don't give up on points, that support each other, love each other, and play really hard for each other and for the fans. And that's kind of the brand that they want to show off.
To be clear, the Creighton family that I'm referring to, they're pretty awesome. They're pretty proud. So it's pretty cool to see how proud they are of Creighton volleyball and Creighton in general. They're specifically volleyball fans as well. So that's pretty cool to see. Talk to me about pro volleyball in the state of Nebraska. I don't know how much you follow that. I mean, you're right there in Omaha. They love volleyball, and you've got the Supernovas. And I believe there's some sort of merging going on. I'm not completely up to speed on that. But talk to me about your take on pro volleyball growing in America, but specifically in Nebraska as well.
Yeah, I think we're just at a time where we're just so lucky to be in volleyball. I would say historically I hadn't really followed it, but now that we've had several players go from Creighton into these pro leagues, definitely following it a lot more. And we've become friends with a lot of the coaches that are at both teams here in Omaha. So we've gotten to learn some of the ins and outs. And obviously Coach Booth now is with Love. And so getting to talk to her about all the different things and changes. I just love that our collegiate athletes are going to have opportunities to play after college. 2 years ago, the only way to do that would be to go overseas. And, the Nora Sisses, the Kendra Waits, the people that, are close to family and wouldn't want to do that would just, stop playing volleyball and go into their professions, which is obviously great too. But now they have this opportunity to play volleyball. And so, and I think it even starts at the youth level. Love partners with like clubs in the area. So like Premier Volleyball Club here in Omaha is partnered with Love. And so these like young, like my daughter's there. So like at 10 and 11, like my daughter is getting to be around these professional volleyball players so that she can sit and watch them and dream that one day, like I could be a professional volleyball player. And 2 years ago that wouldn't even be something they would ever think of. And so, boys, like when I was growing up, like, I could dream of taking the last shot, in the NBA game or hitting a home run or all these kinds of things. And, young girls that wanted to play volleyball weren't able to do that. And I hope that through PVF or MLV or Love, like now these young girls growing up can look up to these collegiate and professional athletes and see themselves doing that one day.
All right, last question, Coach. I appreciate your time. I mentioned, you talked about the opportunity to play pro volleyball or collegiate volleyball, or just want to get better in volleyball in general. If you're playing youth volleyball or high school volleyball, as I mentioned, I got a bunch of volleyball players in my house. What advice would you give them, or would you give me that I can share with them?
Just get out and play. I think there's volleyball at all levels, from middle school teams to travel club teams to whatever. Get out and play. I think. And play small groups. Like if you can get into grass tournaments or beach leagues or any of those kind of things, just obviously the less people on the court, the more touches you get. And so I like where I came from in Florida, there were so many like outdoor tournaments for like young kids to play, just because of the weather. And so like I really encourage young players, including my own daughter, to play in doubles tournaments, triples tournaments, because it just gets them more touches on the ball. They're able to do more things. And then my biggest pet peeve in youth volleyball is position-specific training. I think way too often right now we take a 10-year-old and we make them a middle or a setter or whatever, instead of just allowing them to play the game of volleyball, do a little bit of everything, and just become better. Because I think it just pigeonholes people. You look at like a Catherine Plummer. I think it'd be easy to take a 6'6" kid and just make her a middle, but she ended up becoming one of the best 6 rotation outsides in the country. And so there's so many examples of that where they just stick the tall kid in the middle and don't let them do anything instead of developing their whole game. So those would be my few things.
I appreciate the advice. You actually just described exactly what happened to my niece. She is very tall, and basically they stuck her in the middle, and then when it came time for her to rotate out of there, she got rotated out of the game, and it was a little frustrating. She was like 9. So anyways, appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck this evening.
Thank you so much. Go Jays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we got a loaded show today. Should we do the intro pleasantries now, Jake?
Yeah, I think you could do it now.
Should we do it now?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show. That was head coach Brian Rosen of Creighton Volleyball ahead of their big-time matchup tonight versus Nebraska. That'll be played in Omaha. All right. Who you got winning that one, Jake? Who you got winning?
Well, I got to go with Nebraska here. Creighton has faced a lot of really good opponents, like you said so far. Few of them have been able to sweep Creighton, and so hopefully, as a Nebraska fan, hopefully it kind of goes along that way. But Creighton's well tested, so I mean that is one thing you look at it. They're not going to be, worried or nervous or okay, this is the number 1 team in the country. They've played 2, 3, 5. They play, Texas. I mean, they've played all these teams, and so again, and able to get a top 25 win already into the season. So they're going to be good, stiff competition. Nebraska, I mean, at least for what they're expecting, the crowd is going to set an indoor record. It is sold out, so it's going to be a romp, crazy environment. But it's just going to be tough to beat the Huskers this year.
I agree with that, and it's interesting because I do wonder. If you're an out-of-state team playing Nebraska, you're aware of Nebraska and you're aware of everything, and you probably heard of Rebecca Alec and Harper Murray, but you may, like if you're in Nebraska day in and day out on Nebraska social media, you see them all the time. I wonder if there's any sort of effect of you're a Creighton volleyball player. Now all of a sudden they're right in front of you, this person you've probably seen 500,000 times the past year on whether it be X or TikTok or whatever. Is there a little bit of an aura that comes with that? Do you think there's any sort, not an intimidation factor versus playing a high-ranked team or a good team, just all of a sudden you see this person in front of you, that can be a little surreal sometimes. How big a factor do you think that could be for Creighton tonight?
Oh, yeah, and head coach Brian Rosen just kind of said it. You don't have to name their numbers or anything. They know each one of these gals by name. And so, I think that could maybe play a little bit of a factor, pre-match, getting into it, of course, but then once you're playing again, it's like usual. Once you're out there, a couple minutes into a match, you're gonna lock in. So I think the crowd, that sort of stuff, always something to kind of look at in the first set. But I think everybody will get kind of comfortable. But again, going back to who I picked here, Creighton's never beat Nebraska in volleyball. So if they do that tonight in front of a record crowd, it would be one of the all-time moments. But all that is it's a lot to ask for.
It's going. You took the words right out of my mouth. The first set, obviously you can bounce back. And one of the most impressive things I've seen this year is when Nebraska reverse swept Kentucky, who's a top 10 team. So if you lose the first set, it doesn't mean you're out of it, but that's going to tell me a lot about Creighton. They're a good volleyball program. I think they've won 8 straight of their conference championships. Okay. And the Big East is a decent conference in volleyball, but when you look at who they played, all right, it's a tough schedule, but when they did get swept, it was Penn State, 0-3. Texas got swept, 0-3. USC got swept, 0-3. Now, I'm not knocking Creighton. They're a good volleyball program. To be clear, what I'm saying is I think this first set is going to tell us a lot. If they come out, even if they lose the first set, but play well, that bodes well for the rest of the match. If they come out and they don't look as great, which I don't anticipate, to be honest with you. I anticipate it to be a good match that goes, at least 4, maybe 5 sets. We'll see, okay? But I think that first set's going to tell you a lot. How are their emotions? Because the crowd's going to be going crazy. Ginormous crowd, raucous. It's going to be, on their home court, so you would think would be in favor of them. How do they handle all of that? The playing a high-ranked team, not new for them. It's everything else that kind of goes into it sometimes that affects the human being factor, and the human being factor is part of the player and how effective a player is on a given night. Because that can vary from night to night based on the human being factor and what's going on outside of just the player. That makes sense how I kind of describe that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a distinction that often needs to be made.
Yeah. Players are people.
Yes.
They're not just names and faces on a video game that are always going to play the exact same. So I'm curious. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm excited. I'm rooting for Nebraska. I'm not going to lie. I find myself rooting for Creighton where they're not playing Nebraska. All right. And I appreciate Coach Rosen taking the time. They're going to be, I guarantee, in the tournament again this year. I hope they both make deep runs. Creighton can stop right around the Elite Eight. I've always said right around the Elite Eight, Final Four, and then hopefully Nebraska wins it all. Do you think, okay, I've asked you this once before. I'm going to ask it again. Do you think Nebraska volleyball goes undefeated this year?
I think that's I think they're going to be favored in every matchup. So there's that. But that's, again, that human factor. I don't think so. I just think it's going to be, just too much, maybe 1 or 2 losses, but it's just a lot to ask to go undefeated. Again, I always go back to John Cook because he's a lot smarter than I am about this. And he just said it's a lot to ask for a team to go undefeated in the Big Ten these days. It's
kind of one of those, even if you're the better team, somewhere, someone along the way might trip. They might be better on that particular night. Even if on 10 nights, you'd be better 8 or 9 times out of 10 that one night. It's kind of like the little Giants. All it takes is that one time. Remember the halftime speech? That one time. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
They're down by like $1 million to the Cowboys in the Little Giants movie, 1994, with the Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's dad is like the coach of the Little Giants. And I think Ed O'Neill is the coach of the Cowboys. He won the Heisman in this movie. And they're like, basically the Giants is everyone who couldn't make the Cowboys team. Did you see the movie?
I know what you're talking about somewhat, but I don't think I've ever seen the movie.
So basically, Ed O'Neill puts together this youth football team that they want to go play nationally, and they want to win like a national championship. And he was the Heisman Trophy winner in this scenario. And everyone tries out for the team, and half the kids don't make the team, but they still want to play football. So the Cowboys are all the kids that are coached by Ed O'Neill. They make the team. The Little Giants is everyone who didn't make the team. And then, do you remember the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. That dad, I forget his name.
Yeah.
His daughter, her nickname is Icebox. I had a huge crush on Icebox when I was a kid. I did. I had a huge crush on Icebox. All right, that was her nickname in the movie. And his daughter still wanted to play. And frankly, should have made the Cowboys team. She was good enough, but she was a girl, so she didn't get put on the team. All right, this is 1994. And so he coaches this team, puts together all these kids that didn't make this team. They call themselves the Little Giants. They're getting in the Nile. And then they're going to scrimmage. It's like a warm-up game for the Cowboys. They need a warm-up game, okay, before they go play real teams, so to speak. And they're annihilating the Little Giants. At halftime, I don't remember what the score was. I mean, the movie's like, 30 years ago. 28-0, 21-0. And at halftime, they start talking about, you don't have to be better. You just have to be better one time. You just have to beat them one time. You just have to do it one time. And then one of the kids stands up and he talks about racing his big brother down Cherry Hill on his bike. And he goes, tells this whole story. And at the end of it, he beat his older brother down Cherry Hill. And all the kids are like, you beat him down Cherry Hill? He's like, yeah, we raced like 1,000 times, but I beat him one time. And then it was like, all it takes is one time. And the kids all get into it. They end up coming back and winning the game, of course. Otherwise, it's a terrible movie. You don't make the team and then you lose the game too. You got to have something to get excited about. But anyways, it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like any given Sunday, any one time. You never know what can happen. I'm still curious to see, because they are a well-coached team. They are probably the best team in the country. They are the most talented team in the country. I'm curious to see if they can do something that's very rarely done in college volleyball, maybe go undefeated. You don't even like me put that out there in the atmosphere, do you? I can tell.
I don't mind it. It could happen. It'd be awesome to see it. By the way, Rick Moranis. People
thank you.
Typing in. Yeah, texting in.
I appreciate that. Rick Moranis. That is correct. Did you like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or Honey, I Blew Up the Kids better?
I think I Shrunk the Kids. I don't even know if I remember I Blew Up the Kids.
I never forget when the movie came out. I just had the image of the kids being blown up, like literally exploding, and they just get big. They don't actually get blown up. They get big, but that was the title they used. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come back. We'll dive into Matt Rule's press conference briefly from yesterday. Then Dana Holgorsen, John Butler give some major updates. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit lincolnchildrensmuseum.org. Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. All right. Hour one of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by our good friends at Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services. Since 1901, learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. Is there anything off the text line before we move on officially from volleyball to the next portion of the show?
Just a couple thoughts again from the Little Giants. They said they wouldn't have to come back to win if the other team wasn't the Cowboys. And also 1097 says the annexation of Puerto Rico, the greatest play of all time.
You have no idea what they're talking about, do you?
I've heard it again over the years. I don't know exactly. I never watched it.
You've never seen it?
I feel like I'm too old. Do you think I'd enjoy it at 35?
It does land a little bit differently when 94, I was 10. Like I said, I had a crush box. I had a crush on the main character, Icebox, in the movie. So that might have been why I watched it over and over and over. You should watch it. I think you would enjoy it. It's a good, wholesome family film, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, my son's getting old enough. Maybe I'll watch it with him in a few years.
With life left. No, not in a few years. You'll forget. You got to put it like somewhere on your to-do list. It doesn't have to be at the top or at the bottom, just somewhere in there. Life lessons. It only takes one time, Jake. All right.
Is there a dog involved? I think I remember. Is there a dog? No, maybe not a dog.
No. What are you talking? Are you talking about Homeward Bound? Like, what movie are we talking about? Lassie? What are we talking about here? Old Yeller?
No, I'm wrong. I just thought I remembered on the cover, but no, you're right. There's no dog.
There is no dog. That's okay. All right. Oh, annexation of Puerto Rico. The greatest play ever known to man. That's how they win the game. You should watch the movie. All right. Matt Rule. We didn't get to this yesterday. We weren't able to get to it yesterday, so we're going to get to it here today, right now. Matt Rule, press conference reaction. He thought that the Houston Christian players played hard. It was good to get a lot of non-starters, a ton of reps. He is honored to have the 1995 Nebraska team here this weekend, and he wants the team to play football in a football game this weekend that team can be proud of. You and I were chatting about this during the break. We can't keep kicking the ball out of bounds. Now, you had a theory as to why you think that keeps happening because you said what? John Hull did it the first game, then Alvano game 2, then Hull again game 3. Is that what you said?
I believe that's the order of it, yeah.
Yeah. What's your theory as to why this keeps happening?
Well, they seem to be trying to kind of like corner kick it. And so, kind of make the return team return it and hopefully, obviously, tackle them before the 25-yard line. But you start to wonder if that's worth it, right? You're trying to, in the margins, stop some, get some yards there. And in the opposite, though, direction, I mean, they've been giving up 10 yards, start the ball at the 35-yard line every time, every game. So, again, the special teams has been fantastic. It's one of the top-ranked special teams in the country. That's just the one thing that seems to be popping up game after game. You don't think it when they do it well and they do it successfully. We don't talk about it. We're not going to think about it whatsoever. But when they kick it out of bounds, it can become a problem. So I'm interested just to see, especially against Michigan, do you take that risk or do you just say, let's kick the ball out of bounds and let them start where they start? And obviously time and different different instances of what the game looks like. It'll make the decision on whether they want to do that or not. But to this point, if they can't find somebody to consistently do it without kicking it out of bounds, might want to pull the plug on the idea.
So we know Eckler loves to do the directional kicking thing because we know the type of punter he brought in and the type of punting game he wants to do, from the rugby style to angling it to right and left. And, Archie Wilson played 1 rep the past 2 games. The kneel down, he got in on that. Do you have that clip ready, by the way, that I sent you?
Not quite. Hold on.
All right. Let me know when it's ready. So we know he likes to do that when it comes to punting and pinning teams deep. And of his 4 punts in the first game versus Cincinnati, 3 times he pinned Cincinnati inside the 20, twice inside the 10. So I get the feeling they're trying to do that with the kickoffs as well. But to your point, there's a little bit of give and take. If you can put it in a particular corner, because then you can angle your entire coverage unit towards that corner, and you have a better chance of them not having as good a return, let alone a big-time return. If you just kind of kick it in the middle of the field, you can't angle your coverage unit. You got more of the field to cover. There's a reason Eckler likes to do this. The risk you take is if you don't have a punter who can do this, it creates issues. We have a punter who can do this. Right now, I'm not sure if we have a kickoff man who can we don't have a kickoff man who can consistently do it, as we've seen so far. So it becomes one of those things. Do we have a guy who can just boot it out of the back of the end zone? Let him start at the 25. That's better than the 35 by 10 whole yards, to Jake's point. So do we have a guy who can just boot it out of the back of the end zone? Do we have a guy who can just boot it near the goal line and let them choose if they want to bring it out or not? But then if you're in the middle of the field, now they got more opportunity for a return. But let's be honest, more people just call fair catches than they ever have, because you don't even have to be in the end zone. I remember when I was a kid, you had to be in the end zone to call a fair catch on a kickoff return. Now you can be at the 15 if you want. I don't know why you do it there, but you get my point. So more people are calling fair catches than we've ever seen. Or you can continue to do what they're trying to do, which is be a little bit more directional with their kicks, which if you can execute the kick itself is a big advantage. The reason it's not always done is it's not the easiest thing to do consistently. So I'm curious to see how they handle that going forward. I'm of the mindset at this point, if we just got someone who just boot it out of the back of the end zone or just boot it to the middle of the end zone, they're probably going to call fair catch. Let them start at the 25. I could live with that. Rule also addressed red zone offense. Says he wants to be scoring touchdowns at a 70% clip in the red zone. Right now, they're at 69%. We need to improve in that area. Are you surprised they're that close to their actual goal when it comes to percentage of times they've scored in the end zone, in the red zone versus times they're in the red zone? I didn't think it would be. Of course, we have scored a lot of points. The times we don't get in, I think, just tend to stick out a little bit more. So maybe it shouldn't be as surprising as when I initially saw that. What are your thoughts there, Jake?
Well, it's kind of funny because that's what I was paying attention to at the end. I was thinking of you during the last quarter, because I know you'd brought it up the previous week that the red zone offense is something they could work on. Of course, they went for it on 4th down with Jalen Graham said in the game. That hurt it. I think they got to like the 19-yard line there at the end of the game. So I think that might hurt the red zone offense as well. So as with everything, sometimes the stats even are a little bit off as opposed to what could have come out of it. I mean, obviously, that's 2 red zone trips without any points to it when you're up 59-7. So, not the most important thing in the world, but it is going to, I think that you feel pretty good. I'll tell you what, I feel pretty good because, one, we've seen Dylan be able to kind of throw it in with shorter distance. Obviously, y'all know with the end zone there, there's not any deep threat, so it's harder to kind of fit it in the tight spaces, but he's able to do that. And Barney's an excellent at getting into some tight spaces. But the other thing is, and I'm interested to see this moving forward. Obviously, Emmett Johnson's been really good, and he does. I don't think he necessarily enjoyed Dante Dowdell coming in and taking all his touchdowns last year. That being said, been very impressed with Ives and his north and south running. And so a running back like that has had success north and south running, that's a big, something that you can definitely rely on and use in the red zone. And I'm interested to see if he's going to get more touches in the red zone because of that style.
Do you think Ives runs faster than he looks? Like I'm a long strider. So people would be like, you don't look that fast. But then my time would be what it was. Like at my pro day, 292, I ran a 4.72. And I'm a long strider. So I will cover more ground with less strides. It's kind of like if a tall guy dunks, it doesn't look as impressive as if a small guy dunks just because there's more air underneath. So when someone's taking more strides more often, they look faster. My point is, a couple folks have mentioned to me, Ives doesn't look fast. I'm like, well, I think it might be the running style because he doesn't run slow. He runs physical, and I think he's a long strider, and it just looks different. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can see that. And I've also seen complaints about him, maybe running, more stand-up-ish, not getting a little bit low at times. So, it might be an adjustment, but I agree with you. I mean, he seems to move quick enough to kind of, if there's a hole there, he will run right through it. So I don't necessarily think he's slow by any means. I don't know Nebraska, like even Emmett, I don't think they have a home run threat if that's what you're looking for him out of his speed, but I think he's got solid speed.
I think Mekhi Nelson would be the biggest thing, or Mosey would be the biggest thing we have. That's the closest thing we have to a potential home run threat out of the backfield when you just look at pure speed and take everything else out of the equation, just pure top end speed. I like the way Ives runs. He had the one-handed catch, right, in the first half?
I think so.
Was that Akron? I think that was Akron. He had a one-handed catch in the first half, so he shows he can catch the ball. He's a physical runner. He runs hard. He runs a little bit more up and down than you would prefer, but he's also taller. He's about 3 inches taller than Emmett, so he's going to look. I think there's things appearance-wise about him that may be a little bit misleading, if that makes sense. Now, I actually would like him to lower the pads a little bit, but just being taller, it's going to appear a certain way as well. With the red zone, I think what sticks out about me to the red zone was in our first 5 quarters, so 4 versus Cincinnati, and then our first, 2 drives in the red zone versus Akron. In that 5 quarters, in those 3 drives that I'm specifically thinking of, we walked away with 3 points because we got stopped at the one on the tush push with Harburg, and Emmett had the fumble at the goal line, and then we had the false start at the 1 yard line. That was Akron with the false start at the 1 yard line versus Cincinnati, which moved us back. We ended up with a field goal. So out of those 3 drives in our first 5 quarters versus Cincinnati in the first quarter versus Akron, we walked away with 3 points. I think that's what still sticks out to me a little bit. And it's hard to gauge, as the games go along versus Akron and Houston Christian. I just think going forward, we cannot afford to leave points on the field. So that's kind of what sticks out to me a little bit there. All right. Michigan will run tempo. This is a Back to Rules press conference, and we need to prepare for that. Are you surprised? Michigan running tempo? I thought they tried to drain the clock and shorten the game to an hour and a half every week. Are you surprised that Michigan runs tempo a little bit, or they will run tempo?
Not necessarily with their running quarterback. Again, I think that can kind of additionally kind of throw you off as you're trying to make adjustments to that, and RPOs, all that sort of stuff. But I mean, it's a little bit different than what they've run in the past.
I think you nailed it on the head. It's about the quarterback they have, and it's more conducive to the style of play he has. They haven't had a quarterback like him since Rich Rod was the head coach. Shoelace. All right, was the quarterback. So when you have a quarterback who's a dual threat guy like this, it behooves you to move a little bit quicker. So we got a lot more to get to when it comes to Matt Rule's press conference. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
It's nearly time for Bonsall Pool and Spa's Truckload event. From September 23rd through the 27th, stop by Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to see an actual truck full of hot tubs with special prices. You'll save up to $3,000 on all hot tubs and swim spas, as well as $1,500 on all saunas and cold plunges. Use Nebraska football's bye week well by stopping in on September 27th for refreshments and giveaways. That's Bonsall Pool and Spa at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard in Lincoln.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see mostly sunny skies with light wind. It'll be hot with an afternoon high near 90. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies. Below near 65. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. See a high near 80. I'm meteorologist Carriker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. As a former Husker and NFL player, I'm a health nut. Hydration and recovery start at home. That's why I teamed up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects my water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, I added a Culligan reverse osmosis. All right. Bottled quality water right at my tap. Great taste and is certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system or just $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. That's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln. Water you love. Go, Big Red. All right. Final thoughts here on what Rule had to say. Michigan's core philosophy hasn't changed since we played in 2023. I mean, Sharon Moore, if you remember, I know he can't be here and coach this week. By their choice, I'm just going to throw that out there again. But he was their offensive line coach under Harbaugh. So the offensive line coach, promoted to head coach, who's won some big games at Michigan. Every time he's either been an interim coach, they won at Penn State when Penn State was a top 5 team, right? I believe that. Did they win the Big Ten championship game that year with Sharon as the head coach? Or was Harbaugh back by that? They won 3 games that year with Sharon as the interim head coach. And last year, they had some big wins at Ohio State, mollywopped, curb stomped, and whooped Alabama's rear end sideways in the bowl game. And they were the team with guys who were opting out, not Bama. They were the team that was riddled with injuries, not Alabama. So this guy's not going to come in. He's not going to change much. Offensive line coaches are going to come in, and they're going to keep those core values that Jim Harbaugh had as a team. All right. Says right now there isn't a guy on the team who doesn't know what we need to improve upon. Now the Big Ten play starts. It's, and I quote, a whole nother animal, end quote. All right. Gabe Moore is good to go. Javin and Malcolm will be back this week as well. And I quote, universal individuality, end quote. Everybody wants to do something. So if we do something, everybody has to do it. Mostly talking about the All Reds and the Crawford shirts from last week. Basically, they all wore the Crawford shirts. Everyone obviously wore the All Reds for the game. If one person's going to do it, everybody's got to do it, and everybody's got to do it as a team. Hope that made sense. Says his wife does not like attention. The locker room sang her happy birthday afterwards. My wife would hate that. She's like a very private person, quiet. Very feisty, though. All right. Says Steven Jackson, Rams' great running back, was at practice Friday before Houston Christian. I didn't know that. That's my former teammate in St. Louis. All right. Actually, the first time I met him, he was a true freshman up at Oregon State. He was not starting yet. Ken Simonton, who was all Pac-10, the running back, was still starting. But they played Northern Arizona or something like that. And he returned like 2 kickoffs for a touchdown back that game. This is back when Oregon State was like good, 2001. And I met him in the dorms afterwards. Probably the the biggest running back I've ever met in my life. And then years later, we were obviously teammates at the Rams. All right. Let's see here. Matt Rule said he was at a few different sporting events, including the Super Bowl, where the Patriots came back and beat the Falcons when they were down 28-3. He was at the Game 6 where the ball went through Buckner's legs. Sorry, Jake. Says all that, and then says the Bud fight was the greatest sporting event he has ever been to. Rule asked the team if he could go to the fight. He didn't want to be a distraction. The team obviously said yes. Would like to play in Vegas sometime. Thoughts on Nebraska playing in Vegas?
I would like that. I think that's a good idea.
Is that a weird match? That's a weird match.
It would be, but I mean, it would. I think Nebraska fans would flood it and take over.
Well, they would. It doesn't matter. We could play in Australia. Of course, we have a punter from Australia, but we could play in Antarctica and we'd flood it and take over. That would be interesting. It's not like going to Arrowhead, where it's basically a home game. Michigan has an outstanding O-line. Now, this is him being very, very complimentary. They have a good O-line. It's not as good as it was last year, and last year's O-line was not as good as the year before when they won the national championship. So 2 years ago when they won the national championship, they had just won back-to-back Joe Moorhead awards. So 2 straight years, they won the award for the best offensive line in the country. Then they lost their top 6 offensive linemen. Their 5 starters and their top backup all went to the NFL. So they were good last year. They just weren't as good. This year, they're good, but they're still not as good as a year ago. So they're a good offensive line. Like, they're not a weakness. There's not a hole. They're not as dominant as they once were. All right, Dylan is, and I quote, more than ready, end quote, for Big Ten play. Dylan will be prepared for Michigan. Says it's amazing having Phil Snow here. Nobody's had a bigger influence on him than Snow. Says Snow keeps him honest. And it was his idea. We'll play that clip when we come back. How about that? His idea to put Archie in on the last play of the game when they took a kneel down. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Holgorsen, Butler, and a bunch of clips when we come back for hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a glorious day. Jake, you ever feel judged by other people?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Do you walk outside and see other people? You know what I say? Screw them. Let's light this candle and do this show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime. The lunch hour of the Adam Carriker Show on the Ticket is sponsored by our friends here at Mulberry Barbecue, now with 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken. Every day I get hungry just reading this. It's delicious stuff, too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and much more, plus incredible size. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Our next on-location at their South location, our next on-location show at their South location will be coming up in the next few weeks. We will keep you updated on that. Jake, is there anything off the text line before we dive into what Dana Holgorsen had to say, get some updates, dive into what John Butler had to say, get some updates? Let's roll that clip. at some point of Rule, his wonderful Australian accent imitation. But before we dive into all that, anything off the text line?
Yeah, we got a few different thoughts here and some questions for you as well. Say, don't you think if our defense practices against TJ all week, that will help a lot for the dual threat quarterback?
Yeah, it's a great point. The issue is TJ is the backup quarterback on our team. And God forbid Dylan gets hurt. He's got to go in and play. He would get to go in and play. So he needs to be getting ready. So your top two quarterbacks are going to take a ton of reps every week getting ready. And a lot of times you have a designated scout team quarterback, and that's who's going to be running the offense. They could potentially bring TJ Lateef down occasionally, but he's got to be ready to play on Saturday. He's our clear-cut number 2. So it's a great question, great thought. Just when you think about preparing him, again, if God forbid, like Dylan could go down the first series. Hopefully he never gets hurt. But then the next 4 quarters are up to TJ. So he's got to be ready.
Another thought here. Wouldn't it be awesome, Bill Bennett says, to see Quentin Ives or Luke Lindenmeyer truck Ernest Hausman at some point during the game Saturday?
Why Ernest? Why Ernest specifically? What's the reason for that? Because he's Michigan's leading tackler? Is that all? Is there something more to that, Jake?
He at one time might have wore the scarlet and cream.
This is the guy that wants us to play UCF, and this is the guy, Texas A&M on the schedule next year. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't hate that idea. Ernest is a really good player. I actually have nothing but love for the guy. He did what he felt was best. The only reason it stings that he's over there is because he's a really good player, and we'd like to have him with us. That being said, yes, it would be great to see that.
Final question from the text line. This one from 1000. Adam, is Tony White going to bolt for the UCLA job?
If Florida State continues to play like they have, and their defense continues to play well, and I don't see any reason they won't. Coming into the season, I was high on Clemson. What the heck do I know? Of course, man, they still might make the playoff if they win out, but it doesn't seem likely at this point. They didn't lose to cupcakes, though. Georgia Tech, LSU are pretty good. I'm going on a random sidebar. My point is, it seems like Miami and Florida State may be the 2 best teams in the ACC. So Florida State keeps playing well, and the defense keeps playing good. You look at what he did at Syracuse, was even more impressive here at Nebraska. And if you do that 1 year, from the god-awful season they had last year to being really good this year, he's going to be head coach material. It's probably been head coach material, and he's obviously got ties to UCLA. I'm going to read something. So it seems like he'd be the likely top candidate. I sent this to you yesterday. If you're Tony White and you get offered the UCLA job and you find out these facts. All right, this is Stuart Mandel's tweet yesterday. So again, this is his tweet. Deshaun Foster had to go, but UCLA's problems are much deeper than the head coach with no easy solution. $200 million athletics deficit over the last 6 years. No NIL pot of gold. Complete fan apathy, and that's putting it kindly. They may be the most apathetic fan base in all of Power 4. If you see, we had more people at the Husker games than they have at their. That might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe not though.
Yeah,
Man,
right.
have you seen the lack of people in the Rose Bowl at their home games? It's crazy. Big Ten competitors are way more invested in football. And he says, good luck to the next head coach. Do you remember when I said yesterday? Because you asked me about the UCLA head coaching job. Do you remember what I said? I said well, thanks for listening. I said it's a great job if you want to coach basketball. That's what I said. Do you remember that?
Yeah, now I remember, yeah. I couldn't remember the exact quote. I'll write it down this time.
No, you won't. Don't lie to me. But that's why I said it. And I've questioned UCLA being in the Big Ten. Did we really need another LA market team? I grew up with UCLA being good at football. I miss them being good at football. Times have changed. What it takes to be good nowadays, Nebraska is 1,000 times more equipped to be good at college football nowadays than UCLA, despite the less population in the state of Nebraska and the fact that they're in LA where there's a plethora of talent.
Yeah, it's weird because talent's never the problem in Los Angeles. They've had several first-round draft picks. You kind of think of the Miles Jackson, Maurice Jones-Drew. I mean, all the players over the years, but just seems like a tough place to win. I mean, Jim Mora got it going for a little bit. That eventually crashed out. Rick Neuheisel never really did. Obviously Chip Kelly, he struggled for 3 years, then got it to the 8-win campaign. That's what I thought this was doomed all along. is they were on an 8-win coach they wanted fired, and then they went to a coach that has never been a head coach. That was, that's those Mike Riley, right? Bo Pelini expectations still hanging around. So it's not only can he coach, it's can he get 9 and 10 wins right out of the gate.
He'd never been a head coach, Jake. He'd never been a coordinator.
Yeah. Heck of a running back, though.
Great running backs. Good running backs coach. I feel it actually hurt him. It would have been better for him had he just taken the next step of being a coordinator than a head coach. Sometimes going up too fast or being zoomed up too fast, the ladder of success or what a promotions, can actually hurt you. He's going to be a good head coach one day. But I felt like it actually hurt him to be zoomed up that quickly. If you remember, Kelly left in like February, March. UCLA was hurting just to find a candidate too. All right. So if I'm Tony White, I've got obvious ties there, but I really got to think about it. But yeah, he seems to be the likely candidate. Any others off the text line?
I think that's it for now.
You got the clip of Rule?
Yes, this is, here it is. It's Coach Rule talking about Archie Wilson. Yeah, got to turn it on, though.
That was mine. There's only 10 guys out there, though. I told Archie a couple times, I said, hey, if you don't punt, I said before the game, I said, if you don't punt, you're going in on victory. He's like, just stand back there. I was like, yes. So then we pulled out the running back, and the running backs were there. If you watch it, if you watch the All-22, it's kind of cool because he has a cool little clap at the end, like he's pretty happy. So, but we're like I said, it's coming. Big, the Big Ten is here. We've got a ranked opponent. We're going to need he's a weapon. We're going to need him to be ready to go. And so it's good to get him in, though.
Can you do an Australian accent?
What do you say?
Just stand back there. I'm terrible at accents.
Yeah,
so I at least gave it a whirl, but I'm terrible at it.
I guess if you hear from him every day, you might be able to,
That's true. I'm trying to do an Australian accent. I'm not even for sure. I got to go watch Crocodile Dundee to remind myself what it sounds like. That's a fair point. That was a really good Australian accent and imitation. But he got in. He got in the game. All those angry emails, Andy Jurassic pointed this out on Twitter, all those angry emails that he got landed home, and Archie got in the game. All right, Dan Holgorsen. Everybody in the Big Ten plays good defense. Michigan has set the standard for defense for a long time, and that's true. I'm curious to see how good Ohio State's defense truly is this year because Texas, just think about that Texas game. They shut them down, but Texas offense is struggling in general. Like they just are. So until somebody does it consistently, it's hard to say somebody plays better defense in the entire Big Ten conference than Michigan. Now, Nebraska's been a lot better since when Tony was here for a couple of years. So far, our stats look really good. 107th in the country stopping the run. Got to adjust that on Saturday. But other than that, been really good. Number 1 pass defense in the country. All right, doesn't know what to expect, but greatness when he's talking about Dylan Raiola. What do you think of that statement? That's a strong statement right there. Greatness, not good, not very good, greatness.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask of him. I guess that's putting the pressure on him. Again, I might would have held it off on that till a few games into conference play, but they're feeling on top of the world now.
All right, says he knows Michigan's temporary coach will get their guys ready to play. Ooh, didn't think Luke Lindemeyer played very well last week. Were you surprised to hear that?
He dropped a wide open pass. I don't know other than that, but a little bit surprising to hear.
Then he says Luke Lindemeyer is going to be a valuable key to how they play going forward. He is our best tight end. He's a good player. Again, the human being aspect, happens sometimes. Says we need to score when inside the 5. I would second, third, and fourth that. Can't be wasting plays down there. Michigan's D coordinator is elite NFL caliber coach. Yeah, they literally took him from the Ravens. Well, Harbaugh took him from the Ravens. Did they keep their same D coordinator when Harbaugh went to the Chargers? I know he took the strength coach, and I know he took a bunch of other coaches with him. He was the only strength coach in the country, by the way, making over $1 million a year. Michigan strength coach before he joined Harbaugh with the Chargers. So, yeah, very good defense, very well coached defense. Good front seven. Their secondary actually played pretty well against John Mateer, who's one of the Heisman favorites right now, the Oklahoma quarterback, if not the Heisman favorite. So the secondary showed that they can play pretty well as well. But I think the strength of their defense is their front seven. All right. Trying to read these notes. Thinks we are where we need to be. Oh, things we are where we need to be, but we can always improve. In other words, doing good things got to get better. Like there's certain things we need to improve on. I feel like that was typed out better than I read it. All right. Won't name a second string running back. The tape will. So you watched the game last week and it was clearly Ives.
The tape, yeah, it did, I think.
Is it not clearly Ives?
Based on carries, it was. That's a surprising comment. But Mekhi Nelson didn't play, so.
Yeah, why didn't he play at all? Is he banged up? Do you know?
I don't know exactly. I think it was just a coach's decision, basically.
So it's either Mosey or Ives, and Ives was clearly the number 2 back on Saturday. That's surprising. Maybe he's just trying to keep Michigan guessing. It doesn't seem like a Holgorsen type thing to do, though. I expect Ives to be number 2. Dylan is playing at an elite level. And he said TJ Lateef gives him, just Dana talking, great comfort. So high praise for Dylan Raiola. Again, elite level. He was graded, he is the number 2 passing quarterback in the entire Big Ten Conference right now. All right, behind Jaden Maeva of USC. What are your thoughts on how Dylan has played so far this year? Text line, what are your thoughts on how Dylan has played so far this year? What's that number there, Jake?
402-464-5685.
You got any thoughts, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, you look at him right now, again, throw out his stats there, 72 for 94, 70, close to 77% completion percentage, 829 yards, 8 touchdowns. Most importantly, 0 interceptions. Only been sacked 3 times as well, so that's good through if you can, he sacked 27 times last year, if you can kind of think won a game to this point, doing a little bit better with his mobility. Obviously, they're going to play some better teams, and that's why I said I'd wait a little bit, because he's been able to do some stat padding. We didn't talk too much about Houston Christian. Do you think it was the win that was bothering early? It seemed like that was kind of something that was there, but after he kind of locked in, he's been locked in. He's been good. He's been as advertised as promised to this point. But again, here we go. Step up in competition. You expect those numbers to drop a little.
So here's my take. Short to intermediate, he's been elite. He's been great. Short to intermediate passes. There was a drop pick 6 that could have happened versus Cincinnati. He did fumble the ball. He got it back. He fought to get it back. So there's that. Keep that in mind. But short to intermediate passes, he's been elite. What I was going to say and why I started nodding my head was the deep ball. When you factor in the deep ball, it hasn't been there much yet. I mean, he had a 40-plus yard touchdown pass to Dane Key. It's not like it hasn't existed. It hasn't exactly been pretty, and I know it was a little bit windier on Saturday, but we haven't had a ton of deep balls really in the past. What has he had, 16 starts? 16 starts. Now, part of that was there was no separation from the wide receivers last year. But what are your thoughts on this? Is this concerning to you at all, right before we go to break here?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. Again, I think that's a good point, because there's just a lot to break down and say positively about him, but we haven't seen too much of that. This is the game. We you want to see Isaiah Hunter and Dane Key earn their money from the NIL portal. This is it. This is the game to do it. And so, it was interesting because, Hunter especially looked really good against Akron. Didn't see much of him this past game. Obviously you've got Barney in there. His speed's always going to be something to look out for. They have hit, some deep balls to some of the younger redshirt freshmen and freshman wide receivers. So, but yeah, I mean, that was something that even he was having a lot of success with that early last year, but he almost threw it underneath the wide receivers. Like they'd come back and get it. So deep ball accuracy will be important and will be tested at some point, but I don't think that's what they're going to rely on more often than not. I think it's mostly going to be that short to intermediate stuff.
I come back to what Rule said after I think it was their second major scrimmage in camp. He said the offense is efficient. And I talked about it that next day. He used that word efficient. Not explosive, not that they can't be explosive, not anything. He used efficient for a reason. That screams short to intermediate. That screams good to solid running game. So have you noticed that we've had 3 different leading receivers after each of our 3 games? It was Hunter, game 1, Barney, game 2, Key, game 3. So you can't, no pun intended, key on any of these receivers. You don't know who they're going to go to, who might have a breakout game. I do know that Michigan's secondary struggles with receivers that are a little bit more shifty. So I wonder if that might lean Ja'Cory Barney just a smidge this weekend. We'll see. And to your point, I mean, you're talking about these receivers making their money, earning their money. The guy making more money than anybody else when it comes to NIL in the entire state of Nebraska has got an opportunity to earn, I don't want to say earn his money, but earn the credibility that some people think he's not getting from national pundits. He can earn that this weekend versus Michigan. And if he goes out and plays well, he will be talked about because he will have earned it on a national level. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
A fall aeration by Judson Irrigation will help maintain your lawn by maximizing the effectiveness of your watering and fertilization. Judson will flag the locations of your sprinkler heads, followed by a deep core aeration to give your lawn the breath of fresh air it needs. Schedule your aeration today. Your lawn will love you for it.
Let us aerate today to ensure a healthy head start for your lawn next spring. Go to judsonirrigation.com or call Judson Bylene 402-420-6277.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. Sponsored by our good friends at Suizo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it is a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors. We value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply today at Suizo.com. 40 years strong in business. Suizo Construction, that's SCHWISOW.com. All right, Jake. Updates from John Butler. So when it came to the updates from Holgorsen real quick, it sounds like he's got a lot of confidence in Raiola. That was my biggest takeaway. Like, he mentioned some of these other things. Respects Michigan's defense, obviously. Luke dropped a pass or two or struggled a little bit last week, but he expects him to be a big part of their offense going forward. My big takeaway was, man, he's got a lot of confidence in Dylan, and Latif gives Dana great comfort. In other words, if he needs to go in, I feel decent about that. You know what I mean? So those are my major takeaways from his updates there. All right, John Butler. We will be more prepared for a mobile quarterback. Ooh. So you mean what I said yesterday about playing Cincinnati and Sorsby was actually a good thing? Because otherwise we would have found out we're not great against mobile quarterbacks against Michigan. And that could have literally been the difference in the game. It was almost the difference in the game versus Cincinnati. All right. Should I pick Nebraska just because of that? We're going to be better prepared for a mobile quarterback. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's a huge deal that I've not heard anyone else talk about. I don't sit here and listen to sports talk nonstop my entire day, but I haven't heard anyone else mention it. Have you?
Not necessarily, but I mean, again, it's one of those things like I would hope he would say that. I mean, they better be more prepared.
I just like the fact that it's a big deal and we're aware of it, because sometimes you don't find out some of your weaknesses, because when you're going against yourself, you can only learn so much until you're in the middle of a game. And we found that out in the middle of a game that we were able to figure out a way to win, and now we're going to be better for it going forward starting Saturday. All right, it says Michigan has a nice collection of pass catchers. The competition has increased, but our approach won't change. He's being really nice. By far their weakest position group is their wide receivers. Their tight end is a stud. He's 6'5", 250. He's been battling injuries. He runs a 10.7 100-meter dash, or at least that's what he ran in high school. He's a stud. Their wide receivers are in the bottom half of FBS when it comes to how they're graded with their route running, their catching. You got a true freshman quarterback who's going to have a high ceiling and a low floor because he's absurdly talented and he's also incredibly inexperienced. He's being very kind. I'll be more blunt. Their wide receivers should not scare us. We should stack the box and trust our number one pass defense in the country. That's where I'm at. Secondary isn't playing as Butler expected. I'm sorry, what? What do you think that means? Demands eye discipline. Okay. Missing a few things with their reads is what he's saying. And to be fair, it's not about how you're playing versus your competition. It's about how you're playing versus how you can potentially play. And I think that's what he's saying. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably good, especially to hear from him that there's a lot more to work on, because right now you look at the number one pass defense in the country. You know, it would be easy to kind of get a big head, start walking around campus thinking that you've made it. But as we know, again, the quality competition is going to step up. As you were saying, Michigan's passing game is not as dynamic as what we'll maybe see down the line against the USC or Penn State or something like that. But it is going to be, again, a step up in competition. So anything you can kind of pick apart and say, here and there, this is not how you play it. It needs to get better. Is a great way to do it. Again, I'll remind you, USC, right, I think has had given up 1 reception for 4 yards so far this year. So I like it. I do think it is, expecting perfect, not good, kind of, demand excellence, not just rest on whatever they're at right now.
You know what I've noticed is Rule and his staff tend to be hardest on the things they're doing good at and the softest on the things they need to improve on publicly. Remember after the first game, he all but berated the special teams after the Cincinnati game, but he was incredibly kinder to the defense in other areas. I don't hate that. After a win, a coach should be harder on a team, depending on the loss, than after a loss. That's the psyche of a player and understanding the psychological approach from a coach. Also, I think public perception, people are going to be like, okay, we're doing all right pass defense wise, so you can be a little harder on them. But if you're struggling in a certain area and you're just like, oh, we're not playing in that area very good at all, that comes across differently. It's about public relations and understanding how things come across. So I just threw my pen accidentally. All right, we are going to go to break. We're going to have an incredibly long last segment. Henry Latufsky, current Nebraska football player, starting offensive lineman, is going to join us here in about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, so let's go to break here, Jake. We'll come back. We'll continue to break down Butler's press conference. And then when they call in, we'll bring him live on air, and then we'll wrap up the show afterwards. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, sounds phenomenal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
A fall aeration by Judson Irrigation will help maintain your lawn by maximizing the effectiveness of your watering and fertilization. Judson will flag the locations of your sprinkler heads, followed by a deep core aeration to give your lawn the breath of fresh air it needs. Schedule your aeration today. Your lawn will love you for it.
Let us aerate today to ensure a healthy head start for your lawn next spring. Go to judsonirrigation.com or call Judson Bylene 402-420-6277.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with light winds. It'll be hot with an afternoon high near 90. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise mainly cloudy skies, below near 65. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. See a high near 80. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, we got another special guest at this time. Current starting offensive lineman, offensive guard, Mr. Henry Latufsky. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing great. How are you?
Dude, I appreciate you taking the time. All right, talk to me about a couple of things real quick before we get into Michigan. You are a guy that was chosen to be taken by your head coach, Matt Rule, to Big Ten Media Days, which means he sees you as one of the spokesmen for the team and also being a team captain. What do those things mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. Coming from a really small town, those are definitely 2 things that, I never imagined doing. So to be able to, be at Media Days and be a captain's been, the greatest honor of my life.
All right, man. I've heard you're pretty strong in the weight room. Are you the strongest guy on the team? And if not, who is? Or who are some of the strongest guys on the team?
I would put me and Justin Evans up there. And then, pretty much us 2. And then, we got a lot of guys who are, right on our heels. The work that, Coach Campbell's had us do all offseason has been great, watching guys develop.
Oh, man, he didn't mention any defensive linemen. Is that on purpose? No defensive linemen are mentioned in there?
Oh, no, they're up there. I mean, Riley Van Poppel, Elijah Judy, and they're close.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. All right, let's chat about the Michigan game just a little bit. I know you guys are starting to get ready, get the game plan prepped, get some practices in. When you watch Michigan on film, their defense specifically, what are some of the things that kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, I mean, they play a really, pro-style of defense with their defensive coordinator coming from the NFL. So it's a little bit different than, what a lot of the, other Big Ten teams play. But, I mean, they're just a technically sound group. And, it'll be a fight all week to prepare for them, that's for sure.
So for those who don't know, when you say like a pro style of defense, a little bit different than what some of the other Big Ten teams do, what exactly does that mean?
I mean, really, I would dive into it, but I think it would go over, a lot of the listeners' heads. It's really just comes down to the way they set their formations, the types of stuff that they run. And, we've seen it a few times, so there's no doubt in my mind that we can prepare for it.
Talk to me about their front seven. They're a solid front seven, top 25 run defense in the country. Talk to me about what you have seen from them. And obviously you guys want to be able to run the ball. You want to be effective there. You want to be physical. But talk to me about what you've seen from them, what you kind of anticipate from their front seven.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just goes back to, them just being a really technically sound group. At the end of the day, it's going to be, our technique versus theirs on every single play.
Henry Latofsky joined us here, of course, current Nebraska football guard here on the offensive line. I just want to ask you in general, kind of how that offensive line is coming along. Obviously, a strong start to the season for you guys, in the record books and of course, getting some big wins here the last couple of weeks. But the offensive line kind of had to be ironed out, and of course, we know a lot of rotation still at times. How is that the group kind of coming together? Is it meeting the expectation? Of course, big expectations coming into the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great to see how we've progressed over the past 3 weeks. I'd say that we've taken, a huge step each week from, week 1 to 2 to 3. And I mean, that's really the point of, what Coach Raiola always preaches is, as the season goes on, we just keep getting better and better.
What are some of the things that Coach Raiola stresses? Because every coach is going to be a little bit different, their own way of doing things, or there's overall fundamentals that are going to transfer from team to team and coach to coach. But what are some of the things that Raiola likes to specifically emphasize with you guys on the O-line?
Really just our execution, technique, and effort every single play.
Talk to me about a game like Michigan. This is obviously Big Ten play. You got a ranked team coming in. Not going to put the numbers out there. It's been a while since Nebraska's beaten a ranked team, but they're coming into our house. They don't have their head coach, true freshman quarterback. It's a big opportunity for Nebraska. How do you feel heading into this weekend and the opportunity that lays ahead on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, obviously it is a big opportunity, but as of right now, I mean, it's great to see that we've just got a locker room full of guys who are, just worried about getting themselves better. We're not really worried about, the type of opponent we're playing or who's lining up across from us.
Yeah, good answer. Let's. I also wanted to ask you though a little bit about the fun of this past weekend. Of course, there was the all red uniforms, and then the Bud Crawford fight along with it. Was that kind of a memorable weekend? Obviously, you guys did well out there on the field as well. But just to kind of have a little fun, specifically with the Crawford fight and everything that's going on along with that. Matt Rule obviously close to Bud Crawford and all that.
Yeah, I mean, Bud Crawford's awesome. He's always been, a supporter of Nebraska athletics, especially football. I mean, he's a real one. He's been here since the start. He's really tight with Coach Rule. I mean, the red uniforms, I'm not too much of a, flashy person, so, I just wear whatever's in my locker. That didn't really make a difference to me, I guess.
Oh my God, that's such a lineman answer. Like offensive, defensive lineman, we don't really care. If I'm being honest, D linemen may care a little bit more as a general whole. Obviously, everybody is different, but offensive lineman, I don't care. I'm just going to go hit somebody in the mouth. What's in there? I'll put it on. I love that answer. Also, the nameless, faceless opponent. When I interviewed Luke Lindenmeyer last week, that's basically what he said. I asked you about the opportunity on Saturday. You're like, I don't really care who we're playing. We're just going to go out and play football. That is clearly something. By the way, I love the answer. That is clearly something Matt Rule is emphasizing. It's one thing for a coach to emphasize something, and something like that honestly will help the team in their performance going forward. how do you get guys to buy into something like that? Because that is something that's easier said than done when it comes to actually buying into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the older guys on the team, buying into it, and then it spreads to the younger guys. And we have a whole team right now that's been really buying into it. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're playing the number one team in the country or the 134th team in the country. It doesn't matter. Like, we're going to prepare for them the same way. We're going to go out there and we're going to do what we do.
Talk to me about Dana Holgorsen, because every coordinator is a little bit different. I had D coordinators who, they'd literally sit in the defensive line meeting room with us, and I had other D coordinators who would never say a word to us unless we screwed up on game day, then they're yelling at us. And that's the only time we'd ever hear from them. Every coordinator is different. How involved with the offensive line is Dana Holgorsen?
It's definitely not something that, he has specialized in, I would say, but he does a great job of understanding what we want to do and what really helps us. And I think that makes it just that much easier to really just go out there and execute.
All right. You got any other questions for him there, Jake?
I think I'm good for now.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck this weekend. Oh, I did think of one more, actually, because the offensive line here at Nebraska, as you know, has the nickname the Pipeline. What does it mean to someone like you, who's a senior, team captain, one of the team spokesmen, to be a part of that tradition on the offensive line known as the Pipeline?
Yeah, it's definitely, a huge honor, something that we, strive to live up to every day. But, at the end of the day, I think that we all really understand that it doesn't matter what, may have happened here, 30 years ago. Like, we've still got to go out and perform. Like, we've got to be our own, unit, our own set of guys out there every single Saturday.
All right, Henry, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on that? I actually think we were warned he's not like a wordy answer guy, but I'll be honest with you. He is well-spoken. He gives great answers. And it isn't one of those things where I feel like he's just saying what he's supposed to say. Like, he says it like, it's like legit what he believes. Like, we're just going to go play Michigan. We're just going to get ready for the next game. Like, we're just going to do our thing. Hey, we respect what happened here 30 years ago, but we got to go play on Saturday. Like, it's very matter of fact. And honestly, that is probably one of my more favorite interviews I've ever done here on the ticket.
Well, yeah, they're not chosen at random to go to Big Ten Media Days. They know he's a good representative of Nebraska, is going to say the right things. They can trust him to come on radio shows like this. And I didn't expect him to really go too far into the red uniform. I didn't think that'd be something he'd be too interested in, but I thought, it was worth a shot.
I didn't think it was interesting. No defensive lineman listed on that. No, he did shout out a couple of guys like Van Poppel and all them, but I did just have some fun with him on that one. All right. I've made a mistake, Jake. Can you believe it?
Uh-oh.
I got something wrong.
Uh-oh.
That only happens about 5 times a show. Can you believe that happened?
I'll say week 1, you missed all those games.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Did I just get bad news balked right there? Wow. I'm ahead of you, by the way. What was the record after yesterday?
Too much trash.
What I say?
You're a game up. I think you're at 12 wins. I got 11.
That's what I thought. Okay. Are you at 500?
Yeah. Yep. You're 12 and 10.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I lost the sheet. I wrote it down on the sheet and I threw it away yesterday. I was like, crap, I can't remember. I'm just gonna say I'm 15 and 5 and he's 10 and 10. All right, 12 and 10 and 11-11. All right, I will remember that going forward. The mistake I made was I misread something. The secondary is not playing as Butler expected, is what I saw with my eyes and said out loud. As I look at it again, the secondary is playing as Butler expected. So all that stuff I said after that, you can just ignore that. It does apply in other scenarios, but in this one it doesn't apply because that's not what he said. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's wrap up our thoughts on Butler here. So you're right. Emmett Johnson, Cam Lenhart, Heinrich Harburg, Marquise Buford all gave press conferences today. There's 0% chance we're going to get through all those today. So we're going to wrap up Butler today, and we'll react to those on Thursday, our next show. Okay, let me find my spot where I was at on Butler. Now, talked about Phil Snow and Addison, the secondaries coach. Phil Snow, associate head coach, have had a big role in what we are doing. We kind of anticipated that. Like, Rule's more of a defensive-minded guy. Now, he's been a quarterback's coach. I think people forget that. He's been an offensive line coach, been an offensive coordinator, but his heart is really on defense. He's been a D-line coach, D coordinator. I expected him to have a bit more of a hand on the defense, along with Phil Snow, who's been a defensive coordinator for Rule and the NFL and in college. And Addison was a defensive coordinator down at UCF. And obviously in the pass game, defending the pass, he's going to have a big role being the DB's coach. All right, Coach Addison is the perfect guy to work with Butler. All right. And basically he likes how the secondary has played so far this year. But as we transition into the next part of the press conference, Michigan's run game is legit. Has had a huge impact on the game. How important do you think us stopping the runs is going to be Saturday? Is that somewhere in the top 1,000 things that might be a key to a game? What are your thoughts on that, there, Jake?
I think that might be the top, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Experience is key in football and life. We have to put, I like this. We have to put Underwood, the #1 overall recruit in the country, true freshman, I've not looked this up, but I'm going to assume teenage quarterback, in situation he isn't comfortable in. We have to stop the run first in order to do that. Like, we've had some great guests today. Henry was great. All right, Coach Rosen, best of luck to Nebraska Volleyball, Creighton Volleyball tonight as they play in front of a record crowd in Omaha. But if we had a 1-minute show and I literally just read that sentence, that could have been the entire show. We have to put Underwood in situations he isn't comfortable in. We have to stop the run first in order to do that. I mean, I feel like I should just mic drop and walk off. Like, what more do you add to that? We actually have to talk. What do you got, Jake?
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were done.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand too, right? I mean, if he's going to get comfortable outside running the ball, I mean, he's part of stopping the run. Though it should be stated, I think a lot of, you kind of think about him as a dual threat. Obviously, that was a struggle with Cincinnati, and so that's what a lot of people are kind of thinking of. Their traditional running game is really a big threat as well. I mean, they've got guys in Haynes that averages 8 yards a carry. Said before, he's had 100 yards plus in all 3 of their games so far, and Justice Haynes. So, and they've got a couple backups behind them that can do it too. So, it really is going to be imperative to stop the run. And it's almost just about as much as what they do well alongside what they don't do well, right? Like it's just that is their complete strength. You remember last year they couldn't pass the ball at all. They had like a less than 200 yards combined against Alabama and Ohio State and won those games. So again, that's why there's just such a heavy emphasis on stopping the run. Now you throw in a dual threat quarterback into that mix too, who's a freshman, maybe not as polished yet as a passer. It just couldn't. That we can't underline it, bold it, whatever enough.
Yeah.
Stopping the run is the key to beating Michigan.
When you think about, with all due respect to Alex Orji and everyone else who played quarterback for them last year, how bad their passing game was. And they still went into Columbus and beat Ohio State. Now, part of that is Ryan Day and Ohio State made the mistake of not just trying to win the game. They tried to win the game and beat Michigan by playing Michigan style of football, and that's not how you're going to beat Michigan. But the fact is Michigan still went into the shoe and beat Ohio State, the eventual national champs. And then they curb stopped, mollywopped, and whooped Alabama's rear end sideways. And they had no passing game to speak of. Now, this year, their defense is good. I don't think it's as good as last year. Their run game is good. It's not as good as last year. But their quarterback play, albeit high ceiling, low floor, I mean, just by default, it almost has to be better. It is better this year. He was the 4th-rated quarterback in the Big Ten for their game last week, albeit not the toughest competition. They went 63-3. But my point is, they're not as good in certain areas. They're still good. But in that one area, they're significantly better just because they were so bad last year. So, stopping the run, ladies and gentlemen. There are other keys to the game. I have 5 in total. I joked when I said this was key, whatever I said, 1 through 1,000.
Yeah.
There are actual other keys to the game. But I don't think it's ever been so easy since I've been covering Nebraska football to pick out the one single biggest key to the game as it is this weekend versus Michigan and stopping the run. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. I'll see you fine folks on Thursday. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the ball.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer.